welcome to each and every one of you who is joining in here today to be with us to learn more about this upcoming program here at Wharton at University of Pennsylvania. We're going to be learning about global supply chain management. And today's overview webinar, we're going to be touching on two key areas here in this program. We're going to learn all about the content, what you can expect as a learner, what's in that curriculum, what are some of those key learning objectives that you're going to be walking away from here in the program. The other area that we're going to be touching on here today is how is that learning delivered? So what is it like here being a participant in the program? What is that day-to-day tactical experience like? So you're going to get the what of the program and you're going to get the how as we make our way through today's informational webinar. Thank you again for joining here. We hope you'll take a look at that chat box. You're going to have prompts coming here throughout the session. I'm helping to guide you. We are joined by program advisors as well who are here answering questions in the Q&A. So let us know what's on your mind as we make our way through today's session. We are joined by Michael Stevens. He is a program leader here in this program and also the founder and principal consultant at Supply Chain Victories LLC. He's here to tell us all about this program. Michael, I'm going to invite you to jump in and say hello. Would you like to greet the audience today?
Hi there. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome. Look forward to sharing more about the program here upcoming.
Thank you so much, Michael, for being here. That is just a taste of what's to come. I'm going to hand the spotlight over to Michael here more in just a moment to take us through the course content and give us a deeper understanding of that curriculum from week to week. But before we turn that spotlight over for the core of our time here together, we wanted to help set the stage by asking this question here: why learn global supply chain management through Wharton Online? So what really sets Wharton apart in its learning pedagogy, its approach to online learning, and why study this topic? So here at the Wharton School, as many of you know, founded in 1881, it was the very first collegiate business school. So really founded on innovation. The Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania is now recognized globally for intellectual leadership and ongoing innovation across every major discipline of business education. So as you think about gaining a cross-disciplinary lens, which is ever needed in this ongoing and dynamically changing world, certainly the Wharton School has been doing this and stands on a history of tradition, really looking at that cross-disciplinary lens as you think about education, as you think about innovation. So with this broad global community here at Wharton, it's one of the most published business school faculties. It creates economic and social value around the world. So that is the mission here at the Wharton School. All of its graduates and alumni annually coming in, really setting the course to really have a transformational change to create that economic and social value through business advancement. So here at the Wharton School, there are over 50 online programs from which to choose. 3 million learners worldwide each and every year, accessing online programs taught by world-class faculty here at the Wharton School. So you are gaining the very best of business education. And that's what we're doing here, really helping to break down some of those barriers of access to the incredible wealth of knowledge here at the Wharton School, and making that available to all of you as learners across the globe. So thank you for being here again. Welcome. As you set forth on your own learning journey, we wanted to showcase this call to action here from Dean Erica James, Dean of the Wharton School, who says to us, today's environment means you can't afford to simply respond to or manage change. The best businesses must anticipate change and even intentionally create change so as not to become complacent. At Wharton, we are excited to be the partner to help get you there. So if that is exciting to you, if you have an innovative spirit, an entrepreneurial spirit, and you're looking to really bring together business education themes in order to have a real change and make a real impact, that is what we're called to do here at the Wharton School. And that is how we've designed this program. This program is designed to help you to do just that. And we're going to showcase that for you here today throughout our content overview. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and hand over the spotlight to our keynote subject matter expert and star of the show, who's here to tell us more about this program, Michael Stevens. I'm going to hand over to you. I'll be back in the session a little bit later on to talk about the learning experience. So after we hear more about the content, we're going to come back in and we're going to talk about some of those logistical components and tactical components. So be sure to stay on the line with us here. Michael, thanks again for being here with us. Over to you for the program overview.
Thank you so much, Marie. You're so kind and so generous with your comments. So much appreciated. Really, truly, though, the stars of this program is Professor Allen and Professor Galino. They've done a phenomenal job at pulling this course together, and you're going to really, really appreciate it. They share their time throughout the courses. Half of it's done by Professor Allen, and the other half is done by Professor Galino. I'm here as a subject matter expert and as your program leader to guide you through this program. I have 30 years worth of experience at General Electric Company, as well as Certainty, Saint-Gobain, small business, and private equity and consulting. But I actually spent quite a bit of time with this. I went to the Wharton School myself. I've interacted with these professors. I know them pretty well and have had a great opportunity to learn more and more about this program. And I'd like to share with you more of those details here on the pages that follow. So who is this for? I mean, basically, if you take a look at the statistics, effective supply chain plays a critical role in success of business. I mean, I wouldn't have to tell you this. This is part of the reason why I'm sure that you're on here today. If you talk to CFOs, 3 in 4 would say that digitizing the supply chain and using advances in technology really expand the frontier of sustainability. You can look at the other statistics here, but basically, walking through a program like this one is going to bring you up to date and bring you into the forefront of the types of tools and techniques and the frameworks that are being used by some of the top academics and business professionals around the world. And I've had a chance to spend quite a bit of time involved in this program itself. And I can tell you firsthand that you're going to learn a lot. You're going to have some of the latest and the greatest technology, techniques, and frameworks that are available. And it's going to be very interactive and supportive of your business needs. So as mentioned earlier, Professor Allen, he's a top professor here at the Wharton School. He does a great job at really opening up the program and walking us through the key modules. You can take a look here at his background. He's obviously award-winning. He's a pleasure to work with and has done a phenomenal job. Most of the video takes when working with him were take one. He's top tier, world-class professor, and he talks at a very, I would say, at the right level within the organization. He can go as deep and as far into the analytic side of things as you wish, but he also provides a very practical approach, and he's very focused in on making sure that what you're learning is very practical and very applicable to what you would take away from this. It's really set up so that you can use this as a guiding program to identify the business problems that you're facing today, give you the tools and techniques to move it forward, and then apply it in your business setting. As mentioned, Professor Galino shares this course with Professor Allen, and together they tag team and do quite a phenomenal job at pulling this thing together. He walks us through the other half of the program in quite a bit of detail. We talk about responsible supply chains and the importance of that, and the importance of digitizing it. His specialty is around digital transformation, and we have a great section in the course that talks about how do you take your current state, evaluate where it's at, and then look forward into what are the steps that I need to take to bring it up to speed to be contemporary through the digital transformation efforts. All right, and then we also have some guest speakers that are joining us, particularly in Module 5 when we go through some Q&A. You've got, as you can see on the screen, we've got Young Lee, who's a PhD, an associate professor of technology and operations. We have Doug Freeman, who is an outdoor industry apparel expert, formerly with Patagonia. We have Edward Key, who's the CEO of the Hong Kong Research Institute of Textiles and Apparel, and then we have Pernille as well. So this program has not only the professor's input. I'm here to help guide you through this, as well as some great Q&A discussions in Module 5. So key program takeaways. What are you going to get out of this? What will this program enable you to do? Well, first and foremost, it's going to allow you to, from a fundamental standpoint, from a baseline, assess your supply chain's role in improving the organization's global operational efficiency. So you're going to be able to first take a look at, from what you learn and the examples that are provided in each of the modules, really set up and say, like, where am I at today? I mean, that's the most important thing that you need to do, is basically baseline what What type of issues or problems do I have, and what am I going to do about it? The second part of this is going to help you to examine your assumptions. What are the facts? Is it true? Is it not true? In terms of product distribution and supply chain management. Then we take a step back and we do analysis. We analyze the key aspects of the global sourcing supply chain. Then we can apply it. So we're not just looking strategically, but we're also looking very practical, down to earth and nuts and bolts of how do I make something happen here that is going to be noteworthy and useful within my business setting. But we're not going to do that alone. We're not just walking through this and applying those things. We're also going to identify the actual individual factors that drive digital transformation for a global corporate supply chain. So we're going to identify what are the key aspects, what do they look like, and then we're going to develop an action plan so that we can go through our organization and reinvent. As the Dean of Wharton had indicated, if we can't embrace change, then we can, not only can we embrace change, but we can also create it. So by developing this action plan, you're going to be able to go into your organization and really drive the type of change that is necessary in order to become contemporary and responsive and resilient along your supply chain. So who is this for? Who is this program best suited to support? Well, anyone really who is seeking to identify trends, new avenues and opportunities. If you're interested in learning about the competitive advantages of a socially, environmentally, and sustainable supply chain, and if you want to adopt an analytical approach to improving your supply chain efficiency and looking to bring about a digital transformation, this can be all the way from the individual contributor all the way up to the executive management team. I would highly encourage that you take this program and plan to take each and every aspect of the modules as you go through it and share it with your business organization, share it with your management team, share it with your department. Walk through this together, take the key aspects of it and build it together. You'll have access to this program for, I believe, up to a year. And so you'll want to complete this program, get your certification, but take the time to go through the revolution that it's going to take to transform your supply chain using this framework, these tools, these techniques, and these learnings that you get from this program. All right, so here are the key program features. One of the highlights of the program is called the root beer game. And I don't want to oversimplify what this is, but it's basically, it's a game that was invented by MIT back in the 1960s. Originally, it was called the beer game, but now it's been adopted, the root beer game, to make it much more accessible and available to all age groups and demographics and cultural backgrounds. But basically what it's going to do is walk you through and simulate a factory, a distributor, a wholesaler, a retailer, and an end customer. And we're going to learn about the impact of what's called the bullwhip effect. And it's a Harvard case study that was done. You have access to that module. It's one of the key learnings that the students really enjoy. Actually, right now we're going through and doing a live session. They're really enjoying this. There's a lot of great feedback about it. And you're going to learn what the trade-offs are between carrying inventory, cost of carrying inventory, and service levels, servicing your customers, and what impact that has both upstream and downstream. The other aspect of this is the key management maturity model. So really, when you're talking about risk and risk management, you have to come up with a way to very practically model that risk. And so this course helps you to go through in your organization and define what's the best way to model the risk, what are the types of risks that should be modeled, and then how can you use that in a practical way, not only to baseline and to analyze where you're at, but also to chart a course forward into where you want to be down into the future. We're going to take an example of this and use it in what's called the decision tree model, which is a really nice visual interpretation in terms of how you can assess the probability of outcomes and the chance that an event may or may not occur. And this helps you to plan and plot your direction forward in a way that's not only useful for you as an individual contributor, but also as a team and management to demonstrate to your executive team the risks that you have in front of you and the action plans that you need to take, and in advance of having those actual issues confront themselves within your business. The other aspect of this is a strategic fit framework. So of course we need to have a good supply chain, but first we have to define what is a good supply chain. Professor Allen, he walks us through what this looks like, and then he challenges you to think, like, what is the value proposition that I'm providing to the organization? And am I structured and set up to provide that value in an effective and efficient manner? And if not, what are the gaps and what do I need to do to change that in order to create a structure that aligns with my strategic vision within my global supply chain? And then lastly, we have this global supply chain analytics framework, which really walks you through, and which I'll get into a little bit more detail as we go into this, but it walks you through how do I transform my supply chain into one that's digitally capable for the future going forward. All right, so now we're going to walk into each and every one of the modules, and I'll just highlight some of the key aspects of that. The first module, the first week is going to be reviewing the global supply chain landscape. And in this particular module, we're going to discuss the complexities of a global supply chain. We're going to really acknowledge the fact that supply chains are very capital intensive in nature, particularly when it comes to a global supply chain. We're going to talk about the challenge that we face, not necessarily just with the supply chain, but in today's marketplace where much of our supply chain is global, and we've experienced this with pandemics. We're going to talk about those challenges, but not only the challenges, but also the advantages that we have at having a global supply chain, and the trade-offs that occur between the challenges and those advantages. We're going to develop a framework for what makes a good global supply chain, and then we're going to apply it to two cases, Zara and H&M. And then basically you're going to be able to take that knowledge, those lessons learned, and apply it to your organization as well. So it's a great starting module. It's very well done by Professor Allen. You're really going to enjoy it. The second module, you're going to be introduced to Professor Galino, and he's going to walk you through optimizing supply chain roles and relationships. And this is the module that I was talking about earlier that has the root beer game. It's a lot of fun. It's going to be very enjoyable for you. I think you're going to get a lot out of it. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to get free access to the Harvard Business School beer game simulation. You're going to be set up as the role of a retailer, and you're going to have access to trying to forecast understanding the customer's needs, and then ordering your inventory from a wholesaler downstream. That wholesaler is then in turn through the simulation going to order from the distributor, who in turn is going to order from the factory. And we're going to learn the fundamentals of supply chain. And one of the main challenges that you have in a supply chain, which many of you probably are very well aware of, is coordination and transparency. And the better we are at coordinating and breaking down the barriers, the better we are going to be at managing the trade-off between carrying inventory and satisfying our customers with limited stockouts. So we're going to talk about the effects of the different supply chain structures in amplifying or mitigating the consequences or lack of coordination. Then we're going to use specific positions in the supply chain to understand the level of exposure that we have to demand risk. And then we're going to use this supply chain management simulation to uncover some of the main challenges in the supply chain, but not only the challenges, but what we can do about it. And that's critically important, as you can well imagine and appreciate. All right, so then the next slide, the next module is going to be module 3. Yep, so module 3. Module 3 is going to talk to us about managing global sourcing. And in this module, we're going to be understanding what the current and past trends are, making decisions to change the global footprint, and identifying the right metrics to make those decisions. We have a case study, which is going to be comparing a product manufactured in China and shipped to the United States versus the same product that's being assembled entirely in the United States and Europe. So it's a great example. We're going to be talking about total landed cost. Some of you may be familiar with total landed cost, and we're going to basically identify the fact that when you're making a decision whether to outsource or to near source or to in-source, you've got to look at your total cost, your total landed cost, and compare that And you might be quite surprised to discover that when you factor in risks and the probability of risks, sometimes when you're modeling those risks, you'll see that it become counterintuitive to what you expect, and so that you have to take all of that into consideration. All right, so now we're going to move into module 4. Module 4 is going to be talking about managing global supply chain risks, and within that module, we're going to discuss how do you define and manage operational risks. How do you create the infrastructure and maturity within an organization to manage those global supply chain risks? And then how do you operationalize big ideas? You know, if you've got these great concepts, how do you bring those into fruition along the spectrum or along the timeline of what it takes to manage those risks and really to get them operationalized? How do you model those risks? And how do you model those risks in a very practical way? We don't want to get into analysis paralysis. We want to have a model that's pragmatic and useful at helping us to point the ship in the right direction and to help us to make those decisions when the outcome is uncertain. And so then ultimately here, we're going to have a case study where we're taking a look at how do you make location decisions, okay, given the context of that risk environment in which you are in the place. All right, so now we're going to move into modules 5 and 6. Module 5 is going to be the module where Professor Galino goes through and interviews those guest speakers. And we're going to talk about corporate social supply chains, responsible sourcing. And we're going to have a great opportunity to hear from constituents that are currently in industry living this themselves. And we're going to be learning from them in terms of how they've been able to manage that, and not only looking at it as is corporate response, social and environmentally responsible global supply chains a necessity, but also can it become a benefit whenever you are able to really take on this role within your supply chain and really exploit it for the betterment of your business enterprise in terms of how it supports your profitability and your customer satisfaction. Module 6 is going to talk about the digital trends in global supply chain. And here we have a great opportunity to walk you through a framework and how do I assess the different stages of where I'm at in building and developing a digital supply chain within my organization. First, we're going to evaluate the descriptive, diagnostic, prescriptive, and predictive analytics that are used in a digital transformation of your global supply chain. And then we're going to apply those analytics to a framework to help you to improve your digital capabilities. One of the capstone exercises here that you're going to be able to take advantage of is a case study with GE Modular Space, where we did GE Transportation Fleet Management Systems, where we've had an opportunity to actually leverage this type of work, and you'll be able a chance to review and apply it within your own work setting as well. So here's just showing you an example. I've mentioned already some of the case studies that we're going to be reviewing together in this module, but we have Zara, and we have Tetra Pak, and we have Solarback. These are just some of the many different case studies that are in this module that I think you're going to find beneficial, not only from the academic learning that you're going to receive from these professors, but also in their application to these particular cases. And then we're going to take from that the lessons learned, and we're going to apply it directly to your business situations. So in a nutshell, I think that this course is very well done. You've got world-renowned professors who are taking some of the most contemporary topics going on today in global supply chain management, applying it in a real-life setting with these case studies, as well as within your organization.
Thank you again, Michael, for being here with us and taking us through the content and helping us to better understand those modules from week to week, sort of that through line of logic here as it unfolds across these 6 weeks. And also describing some of those more tactical components like the case study and industry examples. We're going to get into some more of that here over the next a couple of minutes here as we explore that program experience a little bit further. And I'll invite Michael to come back in and talk about your role as a program leader here as well. But just to kind of set the stage here, as you think about the learning experience, there are two key words that really come to mind when you think of the innovative approach to online learning taken here at the Wharton School. Firstly, here we've designed a program that's highly engaging. So a lot of you are sharing here, you're introducing yourself in the chat. We're learning a little bit more about you here. And certainly in our programs themselves, we see a wide range of cohort participants who represent all different geographies, all different industry areas and backgrounds, different professional levels, years of work experience. So as you think about this highly engaging program, you're diving deeply into these details, you're making practical application in your organization, in your industry, in your geography, but that peer-to-peer learning really gives you that broadened scope of understanding, that sort of, landscape or tapestry of ideas as you see these themes and concepts and frameworks and methodologies coming to life for your peers in their industry areas and geographies. So you get that deep dive, you get that practical application, you get that really broadened scope of understanding as you take your leadership to the next level. This is going to give you those overarching insights that really help you to remain agile in an ever-changing and dynamic landscape here. So how do we do that? How do we keep this program highly engaging? And what's the other word that describes the program? So the program is highly engaging, but it's also highly convenient. So that's the other word here that describes that program experience. We want to keep you learning from one another, building relationships and getting supported every step throughout the learning journey, but doing so in a way that really allows you to fold this learning in with your other professional, personal, and family responsibilities. So we've blended together asynchronous and synchronous learning components in order to get that high level of engagement together with that high level of convenience. So what that looks like from week to week, at the beginning of each week, we start with week 0. That's an entire 7 days orientation week where you'll have an opportunity to get to know the learning platform, build a profile, get to know your network of peers and colleagues, get to know your program leaders, your faculty, and the course itself. From there, each of these 6 modules will be released at the top of the week, each and every week. And you and your peers will have 7 days to make your way through that module content. So at the beginning of each week, we'll see a set of videos released, a set of activities and prompts that's content that's aimed to help you take your learning into a place of action. So you'll watch brief 5 to 7 minute on-demand video clips. You can watch these around a schedule that works for you. These are faculty and guest speakers really outlining these frameworks and methodologies for you. You'll watch these on-demand videos, really sink your teeth into your learning here, step away from those videos and perform those activities, peer discussions, knowledge checks, simulation, role play, case study analysis, all these other activities really aimed at helping you to take the knowledge from these videos and bring them into a place of action and to learn together with your peers. So you're engaging with this content within that week with your cohort, but around a schedule that works for you. Any of our live synchronous learning sessions, we do have live webinars such as this one here. We have office hours. These are all recorded and posted into the platform. So as you make your way through these 6 modules of content, if you do have to miss a live office hour session or a live webinar, you'll have that simulated live experience available for the remainder of the program right there in the platform. So we've built a highly convenient program, one that keeps you engaged, keeps you learning from your teaching team, your peers, your colleagues, and keeps you on track with your learning while also being able to stay on track with your other responsibilities. So you can access this program from a mobile device or a tablet on the go. All of the content is available for you. After those 6 weeks conclude, you have access to the program for an entire 365 days, an entire year. So as you make your way through applying this content again and again, after that 6-week intensive module walkthrough, you'll have that full year to continue engaging with the materials, bringing to life your learning and networking with your peers and colleagues. So truly a remarkable opportunity to enter a program that's going to give you those tools and frameworks you need to action your learning, to make true transformative impact within your industry and within your organization, build your professional network, gain peers and colleagues from across the globe, and learn in a highly individualized and specialized way. So no 2 cohorts are alike. You're coming into live sessions and office hours with your own expertise, your own industry knowledge, and you're contributing that in this reciprocal learning environment. So this is truly a unique opportunity to extend beyond the scope of what's possible in a traditional classroom environment, where you only have a certain number of seats, certain number of minutes to get through a certain set of content. Here in the online world, we break down those barriers of space and time. We deliver content in an actionable way that allows you to learn as you go in a fully immersive environment with a diverse global cohort of peers. So we do hope that you'll join us, and this is an exciting opportunity for you to take your learning to the next level. Michael, one of the big assets here in this program is the relationships that you build with your program leaders, and you are a program leader in this course. I'd love to learn more from you about your role as a program leader, some of that feedback and support that you provide participants throughout their time in the session. Would you like to speak to that a bit here?
Yeah, absolutely. So first and foremost, I was a subject matter expert with this class, so I got to know it in quite a bit of detail. So I helped the professors and emeritus to pull this together for the Wharton School. And so as a result of that, I know firsthand all the ins and outs of the program itself. After spending probably over 150 hours on this program already. We've already run a course live, and so I've had an opportunity to see and see how it's interacting. And so we get a lot of, particularly in this, there's two courses that we're running. Wharton's Global Supply Chain Management Analytics, Global Supply Chain Management course, this one, and the Supply Chain Management Analytics course. And this particular one is very engaging. There's lots of students involved. You see a lot of discussions and interaction, a lot of questions, and I'm available through the Canvas environment for any questions that may come up along the way. We've had a few every course that we have during the office hours that I hold every week, we have a breakout session so that as we're going through and any questions that come up on the cases or the homework assignments or anything like that, I go through and we work together. So it's us learning from one another. So we go and we work together and we share along the way each step in terms of the solutions that the students are gaining from it. Some of the solutions are very specific, and so we work together to solve them. And I have the answer keys because I did all the work together, so I can help and share and give them the steps along the way. So you're never left out there alone. You've always you're one email away, one conversation away from being able to really reach out and get the help that you need, not only from me. The professors do a really phenomenal job at really walking everybody through it. But if there's anything missed, and we all have questions that come up, we can learn from our peers, we can learn from each other. I have a lot of students who will link in with me on LinkedIn. I've noticed that they link in with each other because I'll accept an invite and I'll say, oh, look, they're LinkedIn. We have mutual interests. So it's really building that network from a Wharton standpoint, from a supply chain management standpoint. We all have a common interest. And what's interesting is that, everything is set on UTC time zone. And so we all get used to what UTC time zone means, but the office hours are really designed to be at a very prominent time when it's most available for people around the world to get together. But I'll have people that you'll see, it's dark out, they're at all times of the day. And to your point, it's very flexible, it's very easy. And if you can't make the office hour from one week to the next, then you can watch the webinar, or excuse me, the Zoom meeting, because it's recorded, it's available, and you can jump in at any time. I've had some situations where the case study is a little challenging. I'll tell you, there's one challenging case study in this module. It's challenging in a good way, because once you go through that learning experience and you struggle, part of the learning experience is doing the struggle. So once you've gone through that struggle and you've worked your way through it, and also some of your classmates will jump in and help you along the way. And then as we go through that during the office hours, I've had great responses from the students saying, hey, now I understand, now I see where we're going with it, and this would be very practical and useful in my business setting.
Yeah, Michael, I really, really especially appreciated. Thank you for sharing more on the program leader experience more generally. But that last point that you made about learning through disruption, learning through cognitive dissonance, learning through sort of challenge being such an important part of the adult learning environment and the executive education learning environment, and having support from a program leader and from your peers and colleagues as you go through and you make these connections and you build that learning and you get through that challenge and really ultimately discover the insights that you're meant to discover here in the program. That relational component, would you say that that's a really important piece of the learning here in the program?
Absolutely, I think so as well, because with the adult learner, so I also have an opportunity to teach locally at a university for the undergraduate level. And so, but and as an adult learner myself, we operate in a different work environment. We're rapid fire, trying to solve business problems. We're looking right in front of us at what the issues are. And a lot of times we only have a limited amount of time to spend or focusing on something. So we run into a low roadblock. We learn from experience. So the adult learners, we're continuously learning from experience. And so having somebody there to hold your hand if you need it, or to bounce an idea off of, or to get a quick question answered, or to resolve an issue so that you can go back to your day-to-day operations, the thing that are most important in front of you today, is extremely useful and very valuable. And what's really neat about this is that having somebody with the practical business experience, such as myself, I've got 30 years worth of experience. I've been there, I've lived it along side by side with you. I can take the concepts, which are very practical. They're theoretical from an academic standpoint, but both of these professors are very hands-on and practical. I can help to take that, not only apply to the case, so that's one thing, but how do I take something from a case study or a theoretical value and apply it to my own business setting, give them the framework. And so I would encourage each and every one who's interested in this program is to really plan to take the concepts that are used in this program and apply it in your business environment, and then reach out to me and leverage. Hey, how does this work? Does this make sense? What do you think? How would we handle this situation? I got this situation. What would you do? Not only me, but also you've got a vast variety. I mean, we have a lot of students in this program, and so you've got a lot of people experience from all over the world, very similar situations that you're facing today. So it's really a cohort. You're joining a cohort, and you're joining a team with me, and we'll be in touch. Not only within this program, but throughout your career. So it's not just, you're not just joining this program, you're joining this network within the Wharton Alumni Association. So it's a very value benefit that I think you're really going to enjoy.
Absolutely. Thank you so much again, Michael, for being here and talking through your role as a program leader, this course, that learning experience. And certainly, as you mentioned here, this is a reciprocal learning environment. As you can tell here from learning from Michael Stevens, you are learning directly from the source, the designers of this program, the key subject matter experts and faculty and guest speakers that put this course together for you are here with you live every step of the way throughout your time in the program, helping to usher your learning. So this is a very exciting opportunity for you to be a part of a learning experience. It's going to help you to build out that network, gain those tools, action those tools, and really get the practice that you need, and that face time with faculty and other industry leading experts such as Michael Stevens. So thank you all for joining here. Just in review, as you think about that learning experience, this bite-sized learning approach, that those 5 to 7 minute on-demand videos that allow you to explore these themes and then practice them before moving on to the next, it really gives you that immersive learning environment that you can set around a schedule that works for you, and learn in real time as you go. Really making application in real time as you go is going to help to strengthen that overall learning experience. The time commitment, we anticipate 4 to 6 hours a week. So as you're looking ahead from week 0 and then across those 6 modules, you're looking to identify that 4 to 6 hour time frame. It's gonna be the mornings before work, on your lunch break, in the afternoons when the children are sleeping, weekends and evenings. Really just finding that 4 to 6 hour window each of these weeks where you can really devote your time to the content. The real world application being a central focus here of the learning pedagogy at the Wharton School, bringing together a cross-disciplinary lens to allow you to really bring your learning into a place of action. Doing this through assignments, practical exercises, guest speakers, live sessions with faculty and teachers, such as Michael Stevens, who are industry leading experts here, helping to guide you through all kinds of activities, simulations, polls, peer learning discussions, and giving you that individualized approach to your learning. So you'll be coming in with your own experience and knowledge, your questions, the problems and challenges you're working on, and you'll get to workshop those in real time throughout this program. You're going to have a lot of communication and a lot of support, access to the program for a year, and housing all of this together. Of course, we have that call to action from the Wharton School to really be the disruptors of change, be the innovators, be on the forefront. And we have that 24/7 program support every step of the way to help you do just that. Another big return on your investment in the program here is a chance to earn a credential here from the Wharton School. This is a credential that will showcase your learning and formalize your training here in global supply chain management management. So for those of you who are looking to springboard into some of those leadership roles, take your knowledge to that place of leadership to have a more large scale impact. If you're looking to do that and really expand your professional career and springboard into some of those career advancement opportunities, certainly having a credential here from the Wharton School is going to go a long way in helping you to do just that. And of course, those peer network relationships with your program leaders, all of that is part of that professional networking as you seek to continue to grow your career. So this is our last and final slide here. You can see here on the slide some of the next steps. Certainly, as you think about applying for this program, take a look at the chat box. We're going to be posting the link there in the chat to apply directly for the program. We invite you to take a look at that link. It'll take you over to the apply page. We'll also be posting that course website. So if you'd like, you can go over to the course website, download the full course brochure. It's going to give you the full scope for this course, everything we've covered here today and more. From the website, you can also schedule an appointment with an advisor. If you'd like to schedule an advising session with one of our program support team members, you can do that right from the course website. We use an app called Calendly, so you can just select a time that works for you and meet right there with your advisor in a time that works in your time zone. And they can talk through some of those frequently asked questions. Your advisor can give you participant testimonials and other information about the program as you seek to determine whether or not this program is a good fit for you. And then finally, from the website, you can go ahead and apply straight to the program if you'd like. But either way, we encourage you to get connected, say hello, get plugged in with a program advisor. We're going to be following up today with copies of the recording. So you will get an email after today's session with a copy to view the session again and to download the slides. So you'll have everything on hand as you seek to collate your application materials and begin the program. Thank you all again for joining. Michael, I want to invite you back in for any closing remarks that you might have. I think we've done a pretty good job of answering questions here throughout our time, but as we close out the session, any final words of wisdom or advice that you'd like to share across with our participants today?
Yeah, I would just say that obviously we've captured your attention, you're interested in this program. I think that you're going to find that it's definitely worthwhile. You're going to get the value out of it that I believe that you're expecting, because I mean, I've lived it firsthand. And again, with my business experience, I mean, I learned a lot personally in this program. It was great. These are world-renowned professors. I mean, I know I had heard of them through peer connections and some of my own professors that have worked side by side with them. And so what they do, and they're constant, you'll see as you get into this program, they're continuously thinking like, how can I make what I'm telling you meaningful and practical so that it's worth your time and effort? I mean, you really have 6 individual sessions that if I were you, and I've said this before, I would take what I learned from this and I would bring my team, whether it be my department, my manager, my management team, my executive team, I would walk them through the steps. I would take this as a building block for what I'm going to do to manage a global supply chain within my own organization. And that's what this is designed to do. It's great that you're getting a certificate, and that's wonderful and that's fantastic, and the network and all the benefits that you get from the knowledge gains. But really, what we're trying to do is add the value into your organization so you're going to increase your shareholder and your stakeholder value. That's what this program is all about.
Thank you so much again, Michael, for being here. It's been an absolute honor learning from you about this program. And thank you for being a program leader and such a steady guide here as folks make their way through learning more about what to expect. To all of you who've joined in from across the globe, thank you as well for joining. Once again, pick up that link there in your chat box. If you haven't done so already, you'll see the link over to the program website and apply page where you can download that full course brochure, schedule a call with an advisor, and begin that application. So be sure to check out that link right there at the bottom of your chat box. We also have an email address we can share. That's wharton@emeritus.org. Certainly, if you'd prefer to reach out by email, you're certainly welcome to do that as well. Thank you again for joining. We hope to see each and every one of you back in the program, but for now, we sign off with a heartfelt good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good day to all of you from around the globe. Thanks again for joining. See you soon.